Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
I am Rungren.
And, we got a show tonight. It's kind of funny because the description, that's true, the description for the podcast this week is almost the exact same as the description for the podcast last week because we have updates on all the things we talked about last week. It's pretty weird. But I'm stoked, and hopefully all of you are as well, because we got some cool stuff to talk about tonight. However, as we start every podcast let's kick it off with weeks. How's your week been, Rungren?
The week has been pretty good. Of course, Wednesday I played the Beast Inside for a while. Enjoyed that. That was a pretty good game.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of like old school Resident Evil. The Gundam news, the bad news.
Yeah. Do we want to approach that? It is a sad day, but I don't necessarily like, because this stuff is monetized, right? I don't really like covering news like that normally because it feels weird to monetize a video talking about that. But the English voice actor for Char Aznable did pass away today, and it's terribly sad because, again, he may not have had a lot of roles, but he had one of the most important roles, in my opinion, that's ever been, and he absolutely hammered that role home. So with that said, the episode of Gundam XCOM that went up today got taken back down, and we'll go back again later in the week because it just didn't feel right to use his voice lines today, of all days. So, oh no, Jewel, hopefully you get to feeling better. Not good at all.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it carries it. Yeah, a very iconic role. All right. Well, I guess it's. And going into a little bit of this Zeta Gundam where we're at. I think.
All right.
Because I did do this week and got a. I think from the end of the last disc, or the last 5 episodes before we switch over to part 2 here, or the second half.
I'm glad, Jewel. I'm glad.
I think the storytelling is much better. I think this is, for everything else, this has got the best, right now, this has been the best consistent, that's going to make 10 episodes between the last disc and this disc.
Yeah.
Best consistent storytelling that they have so far. I still can't stand Camille. Still, if Lieutenant Quattro wasn't going to go fight with me, then I would want Lieutenant Emma.
Yeah,
I think they could have done a show about her. Because so far she's proving to be the best pilot.
Well, it's funny you say that because she does have her own novel.
Okay. I bet she does. I bet she has some fan fiction too.
Yep. Rungren, I'm going to tell you this and try not to spoil too much when I say it. There is an in-universe character later on that writes fan fiction about Lieutenant Emma.
I bet. No, that's my vote for. I think my favorite. I like the stars. I think so far though the Char and Lieutenant Quattro, they're just that Char Lieutenant Quattro. I mean, what are you gonna do? But yeah, I like Lieutenant Emma and Mr. Bright, Captain Bright. I think are the just actually deal with open harassment from a superior. Yeah,
Captain Hinkin is weird, but
Captain Hinkin, yeah.
But he means well. I'm not saying that makes it okay, but at least he's not just like skeevy pervert. He does mean well. He's just really not good at communicating it. I'm not saying that makes it okay, because she's clearly not interested.
Yeah. Well, they play it up a bit, and did you get the fortune that you'll be proposed too soon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, that's very true, Will. Michael Kopsa was also Aeolia Shinberg from Gundam 00.
All right. Well,
Got to
when
mention
do I
that.
get to that one?
That's
got
gonna be
so
a
many.
while. That's gonna be a while.
All right. All right. All right. All right. We'll go through this one. I don't know. I really like the tempo. I really like that. Yeah, I don't like the. I think it has terrible start still, but I really like the tempo these episodes are going.
Yeah. I'm
And
gonna
if they
bring up
keep that
spoiler
tempo,
Lubu because I have a
okay,
question for you. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
that's all right. That's all right.
What do you think about the fact that we keep getting introduced to new people that are either like really good friends or in love with Jared, and then Camille kills them?
Look,
This is the third one.
I know, and it's. I mean, there was nothing. You know, Jared should be dead, right? He should. He's good in a mobile suit, but he should be dead.
Like, if I had a nickel for every time that Camille killed one of Jared's girlfriends, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird it happened twice.
Yeah, but then you got his buddy Kakarkon as well.
Yeah.
I think that's why Treyfish likes him.
I love him. Because I also love Camille. Like, I'm one of those people, I understand, and I don't blame anybody that doesn't like him, but I'm one of those people that goes, I don't have to find this character likable to enjoy them. I like the fact that they're broken. I like the fact that they're not good people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just me, you know?
Yeah. It's just that they keep pulling the rug on with Camille. That's my because he'll start.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, I got this. I understand. We're in a war. We're at a disadvantage in the war.
Mm-hmm.
From this, I need to get serious and straighten up. And I think it's you know what? Maybe it's just
Oh, they're both massive idiots.
yeah. Well, yeah. Because I don't see why the problem with him and Fa. I think I'm just as confused as anybody in the show.
Well,
about that.
Camille has these moments, right, where Fa goes, "Are you gonna hit me now?" And then he doesn't, and he goes, "Yeah, no, it was a dumb decision. You threatened everybody's lives, but I understand why you did it." It's like, oh, okay, that's great, Camille, good job. And the next episode, it's Fa, why are you so mad? What's wrong with you?
Wah.
Camille, you just were being so understanding. Come on.
All right. Well, it's kind of weird. Because we're going through the Gundams. I don't know, but it seems like there's stuff about this Gundam that I'm pretty sure that they wanted to do. Maybe little things they wanted to do in the first.
Yeah.
But they didn't have the time.
Yeah.
And now so they had to do the first one. The original Gundam is also like their proof of concept.
Yeah.
It's like, look, we're gonna do this. It's gonna be good. And I think that comes it comes into Zeta.
I'm not going to deny Camille's plot armor, but I will argue Jared's for one simple reason. Jared doesn't have plot armor. Jared knows when to get out of the fight and run away. There is so many times that Jared's losing and he goes, "Nope, I'm gone. See ya."
Yeah.
And he just leaves.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. And what is that scene after he gets his legs chopped off the suit where he's floating? I don't know. That's just bizarre.
If you want to see Zeta with better animation, you need to watch the Transition of Zeta movies. They're not the entire story by far. They cut out so much context that they don't explain to you why Jared and Camille hate each other. So you just get Jared and Camille fighting each other with no, they're just, Camille! It's like, how do they even know each other? The movie didn't tell me anything. Translation of Zeta, not Transition of Zeta. I'm sorry. But the animation's really good. However, it changes the ending. So the movies are non-canon because the movies have a different canon than the continued canon of the Universal Century of Gundam. The change is actually really huge.
Okay.
We'll get there.
How many times has this been redone?
Just once.
How many times has Gundam been redone?
Well, like even the Mobile Suit Gundam movies don't change the main core story, right? But for some reason, I know the reason. I can't explain the reason right now. But the author and director of the movies was not Tomino, and he didn't like the way Zeta ended, so he changed it.
Fair enough. Goodness. I don't know.
I'm a firm believer that if we weren't friends, you would be so annoyed with me every episode. Because this is what I do. I just go, well, did you know this little fun, weird fact about...
I think I don't know. That last scene, so far the last scene I've seen with Jared was, like I said, was over the top. Floating through space, and he sees Mora.
Yeah.
And look, his attack he does, right? Going through there. Like, why didn't you do that in the first place?
Yeah, that's a great
Look
plan.
what you're capable of, man.
That would have worked a long time ago.
Yeah.
So much better.
Let go. Goodness.
I also think we have in these episodes the high particle mega cannon. And like, why? Why do you think at any point you're going to be able to keep the Zeta from moving so you can shoot it?
Well, that one suit was holding it.
Yeah. Oh. I love Zeta. We're getting really close to the stuff that I absolutely adore in Zeta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be starting out with, what is that, Half Moon Love?
Yep.
Oh. Half Moon Love. It's stupid because they can't agree on if Camille's a boy's or girl's name. That's why they hate each other. Not stupid about that. Come on.
Camille. Isn't that a girl's name? What'd
That's
you say?
I'm going to punch you.
Starts a lifelong rivalry.
I know. I don't like the start. The start of Zeta is very weak. To me.
It is. Oh.
But what was that? Play business side. Watch some Gundam. We ran around, did a bunch of stuff on them on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to get songs done. Come up with something.
Yeah.
I'm working a little bit. I'm shuffling up at the place I work. Shouldn't really affect me that much as far as I work, but it's happened.
Yeah.
So, oh, thank you. Yes. Well,
I will freely admit that part of the reason that I love Camille is also not because of Zeta, but because of games that have come out after Zeta. That, like the Super Robot Wars games that take the characters and put them in like a combination world.
Yeah.
And Camille in those is always great because they don't use early Camille. They use end of series Camille.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, or Dynasty Wars Gundam, where it's end of series Camille, except if you play specific missions, where it's Camille going, Jared!
Yes.
Look, I'm going to say this. Runger's not going to get it. But all of you at home that know you are, the fact that Dynasty Warriors Gundam went, hey, Jared Mesa kind of sucks. So we're going to have him team up with Hiro Yui and Master Asia so that he can learn to be a better person. And he does. What? I love that game. Love that game.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll calm back down.
Well, I guess that was basically my. How has your week been, Treyfish?
Well, my week's been a little interesting. I haven't got to play too many games, but I played Vampire Survivors, which finally got a full 1.0 release. And that game's cool, man. I missed all the hype when it was first out in beta, and people were, or in early access, I guess, and people were talking about how good it was. It is a game where you don't get to attack. It auto-attacks. And each weapon has a different timing on its auto-attacks and a cooldown. And you are constantly surrounded. It's like, what's it called? Enemies constantly spawn and come at you, and you're in an enclosed space, and you have to move around them. It's used to be... Yeah, Smash TV. Thank you. And you have to pick up power-ups by killing enemies. They drop XP when you kill them, and you pick up those XP crystals, and it levels you up, and then you can choose between one of 3 upgrades. And that's the game. You work around trying to pick up those upgrades, and it's a roguelike in that you gain money as you play, and you can spend that money to unlock more power-ups or to unlock different characters. And man, is that game cool. I only put like an hour into it so far.
I bet you did.
I only put like an hour into it so far, but it has the potential, even after just an hour, to be in my top 10 of the year. That's how much I enjoyed that hour.
All right.
I'm going to put more time in there and see how far I can get, but that game plays really well. There's no story as far as I can tell, but it plays really well. And
survival is the story.
Right. And it doesn't just do like, hey, here's on like enemies. It also has like special things that happen over the course of the rounds. And so like at one point you'll have swarms of bats coming at you and you have to try and avoid them while getting your attacks off. And at another point you have like this big encirclement of plants that come on you, and you have to find the one hole to be able to get out of the encirclement without taking damage. And then the plants just die once you cleared the circle because they're not a threat anymore. But they don't drop XP. So you also have to try and kill regular enemies while getting past the plant wall to be able to kill the enemies and pick up your XP crystals. It's really cool.
Sounds a little kind of like Gauntlet.
Yeah, it's like a mix between Smash TV and Gauntlet.
Okay.
To the point where while I was playing, I made the joke that my character needed food badly. Because you pick up food by smashing these lights, these beacons on the map, and then it drops a turkey leg.
Yum.
100% Scorn. Very nice. There's your first playthrough of Requiem. Awesome. I love P5. P5 is such a weird, cool game. I don't think it's as good as P3 and P4, but man, I love P5. Yeah, Vampire Survivors is cool. And then I finished the first season of the Magnus Archives. I'm only like 5 years late to the show, but I got in just on time, or just in time, I guess, because they just announced Magnus Archives Season 2. Magnus Archives 2, which will be 3 more seasons of Magnus Archives, basically. For anybody who doesn't know, Magnus Archives, again, is a like horror podcast radio show about paranormal happenings and the archivist that's trying to archive all of it. And it's really cool. The first season ends in a really, really interesting way. And going into the second season, I feel like I know more about what's going on. And some of the mysteries are starting to be explained, but not in a way that's like, so this is what's going on. It's in a way that's like, oh, hey, this thing's name makes you then piece together why it's like this. Like somebody, I don't want to spoil too much, but somebody utters the phrase, the vast, and you go, oh, okay, that's what that thing is. Oh, no. And I'll put it this way. At one point, a character gets a lighter in the mail, and I was trying to brush my teeth while listening to it, because there's no video. It's just audio, perfect to listen to while doing something. And I was trying to brush my teeth while listening to it, and I full on paused and had to just take a second to go, not this character. I like that character. No. And yeah, it's good.
All right.
I'm a good clip into season 2 now. I have a full Google Doc. I've just finished episode 49, and I've got a full Google Doc with names and like events and phrases and things like that. And give me the chart, because I'm putting the lines together to connect the dots, you know?
And then trying to explain the conspiracy.
That's right. I have almost all mobile suits to 100, level 100 in Battle Alliance. Awesome, man. That's great. You're going to be able to play whatever you want.
Put some hours into that.
Yeah. But that's pretty much been my week. I did watch Gundam Wish for Mercury, and I'm going to make a full video on that. once I watch episode 4 that has just come out, because I haven't watched episode 4 yet. And obviously I'm not going to spoil too much for you here, because we're going to get there eventually. But it's good. It's really solid. I think that a lot of the discussion on Twitter and in like online spaces has been really strange. Like over 200 hours, goodness. A lot of the discussion is like over the fact that the main character's a girl. Like, and this is Gundam? Like, why is that weird? And yeah, right. And a lot of the discussion has been about what constitutes a Gundam, which is a question that doesn't have an answer. I wish I could tell you it had an answer, but it just doesn't. Like, I could show you pictures of Gundams, and man, none of them are the same.
They have a gun. Damn.
Some of them don't.
Dang it.
But yeah, Soletta is really cool. I like her as a main character. She's very timid, which is very different for a Gundam protagonist. Most of them are either like hot-headed or Camille, or they're more reticent, you know? We don't talk about what constitutes a Gundam. We don't. That's very true. That is not a discussion we have. Because it's dumb. You can never like go, well, this is a Gundam. Because I'm going to show you 2 Gundams right now. This is a Gundam.
Yes.
And this is a Gundam. And at that point, what's a Gundam? Man, I don't know.
They're going to be something along those lines.
Yeah.
That's
but
what gonna be.
But no, I think it's really solid. I like the main character a lot. The supporting cast so far is really cool. The animation is super crisp. But the sound design is what keeps surprising me. The sound design is the sound design's really good. I like the sound design in this a lot. Specifically, the beam sabers sound different than they have ever before in the series. And I really like the way the sounds work. There's episode 3 has a scene with rain falling, and the way that they tweaked the sound of the beams in the rain to sound different because rain is hitting the beam is really cool.
Attention to detail.
Yeah.
It matters. It
matters.
does.
So, Wish for Mercury gets a big thumbs up from me so far. I'm going to do a full video on it soon.
Right on.
There are a lot of boxy non-Gundam Gundams, but
yeah,
sometimes they purge their armor and there's Gundams underneath. You never know. Double O exists. But no, it's good. It's good.
All right.
But that's been my week. So let's move into everybody's favorite section of the week.
Dun, dun, dun.
Cut my thumb really bad, and while picking up the axe, I just slammed it into my desk like an idiot.
Rub some lemon on it; it'll be fine.
Right? It's just a little quick funny aside. While I was recording that Magnus Archives, because I recorded a review of Magnus Archives season 1, I had a Band-Aid on my thumb, and it kept getting caught in the green screen, so I just took it off. And at one point, I bled on the carpet. So I had to be really clear and go back in at one point where I realized my thumb had started bleeding again and like smear that on the video so there's no blood in the video.
So, but it's been hot. It's been hot enough there when recording videos before that you sweated, right?
Yeah.
And you've sneezed before and had water out of your eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've given blood, sweat, and tears.
That's right. That's right.
You've hit the trifecta, son.
That's right. Yeah, I'm really excited. There's things I want to talk about with G-Witch that I cannot right now with you, but some of those mobile suit designs I really like. Some GNs are Gundams, that's true. So let's get into reviews. As usual, because of the change in the podcast, you don't know what any of these reviews are going to be.
No, I just know we have 5.
We do have 5, so we're going to try and move through these here. We're going to start with the Jackbox Party Pack 9. Just immediately throwing that out there.
The say the title again.
The Jackbox Party Pack 9. And for anybody who doesn't know, every couple years, Jackbox puts out another game. Sometimes it's multiple in one year that has different new games in it. The games in this one are Fibbage 4, Junktopia, Quicksort, Broomerang, and Non-Sensory.
Oh.
I used to love these games, and I fell off them so hard. Oh, it's ad time.
That doesn't sound fun. Oh, it was 64.
Oh, there you are. We'll wait for after the ad to push the button, just to be fair. But I think we already have our scores anyway. I just pushed the button on accident. So.
You fool! Why?
Okay. I'm going to give it another second. And then I'm going to say the score is, because it should have been 30 seconds by the time delay's up. And there we go. 79.
Dang. So wait a minute. No, that was close. It was 70. You said, what did you say?
78, right?
78.
Yeah. Almost there.
Almost there. So close.
So we have some interesting ones here. I have Niche Gamer says, and we've done a couple from Niche Gamer before, and that's always fun. They always have great reviews, right? Why did I just get an ad for a wine company? No, get out of here. Niche Gamer says, if you've never played Jackbox games before Jackbox Party Pack 9, it's definitely a great place to start. The game features 3 very enjoyable game modes and 1 adequate game mode. However, you can skip Quicksort. But if you have a group of friends that you like to play with or enjoy streaming, Jackbox Party Pack 9 is a great game to play with others. So I'm just going to throw this out there. Personal preference obviously applies to all of these games. But to just go, just skip this one. Don't even try it. It's like, what do you mean? We're pretty colder than you put together your flugel. Then the other one, again, we're just going to read 2 because we have 5. The next review for you is Game Per, who says, if you played the bulk of the previous Jackbox games and you were down to roleplay, make your friends laugh, speak up, think hard, and take your time, then the Jackbox Party Pack 9 should have at least a few games to engage you.
Okay. I thought, this might, okay. That's it?
Yep, that's all.
I'm going to stick with my 64.
All right.
We got a 75 in. Sam was 78. Fair enough.
The score is 79.
Oh, my. Yeah, fine. Fine.
All right. So next up, we have New Tales from the Borderlands.
Oh,
this is the sequel to Tales from the Borderlands.
Okay.
Made by the not Telltale team.
I got 72.
Okay.
72.
Just a reminder to everybody, too, we are now in the time of the year where games are going to start coming out real quick, which means we're probably going to have a lot of reviews most weeks until the end of the year. Is that a double negative 88? So it's plus 88?
Positive, right?
76. The score is, I forgot to put ice cream up, and I got to take Dark's name off. Sorry, Dark.
Oh.
The score is 72.
Oh.
So Rundgren gets his name on the board.
I got 72. Yay.
Congratulations, Rundgren.
I picked the right score. I feel much better now.
Hog Connected says, New Tales from the Borderlands is immensely entertaining, exceptionally well written, and acted with pitch-perfect attention to character.
Yeah. Okay. That's
a
nice little review.
Give you a different take on it. Push Square says, we can scarcely recall an occasion where we were more disappointed by a sequel than New Tales from the Borderlands. We wanted to love this. We'd have accepted liking it, but we hate this game. This is a 10-hour narrative adventure that feels 4 times as long as it needs to be, with dreadful characters and appalling, relentlessly unfunny jokes. It's a spectacular misfire, its only success to speak of being the rare example of a sequel so bad that it ruins the original too.
Did like the people who made this game make some like your mama jokes to that critic or something like that?
I don't know, but
They
they're
took-
not the only people with that score.
Golly, they took that personally. Goodness.
Is that a quintuple -50?
Beyond my understanding. I'm gonna go down to I'm gonna say 60. I'm gonna go 64.
All right.
I think they're gonna drop off here. I don't think it'd be that horrible. We'll see. We'll see.
Score is 63. Right
Well,
there.
Still close.
I
Maybe
know
more
we're in a
odd.
rush, but I do want to read one more review for this game for you now, because it's another 3 out of 10 from Destructoid that just says, if you're asking my opinion, don't play New Tales from the Borderlands.
That's a review right there.
I didn't feel like that gave you much information, so I read the other one for you. Next up, we have Victoria 3. This is a Paradox game, which means it is going to be 4X. Those are always fun. For anybody who doesn't know what a 4X is, that'll be like a Civilization or an Endless Frontier or an Endless Legend or a Total War. Well, the Total War is a little bit different, but
Yeah.
that style of game.
Yeah.
Universal Imperialis or whatever.
82. 82.
Okay, all right,
I'll
okay.
go out of 82 there. I kind of want. Like it to be pretty good.
Yeah,
Or victorious.
I remember what it's called. No, it's Europa Universalis. That's what they get.
Look at 39, 38. That was awesome. It popped up at the same time on my screen.
Score
Yeah,
is
82.
83.
No. We all should just too low.
Just right
Well,
there on
then.
everybody's hitting
Yeah.
them.
We're missing the mark.
Destructoid says, a hallmark of excellence. There may be flaws, but they are negligible and won't cause massive damage.
Okay.
And then
A little bit nitpicky, I guess. That's fine.
this one's a fun one. GameSpew says, all in all, Victoria 3 does a brilliant job of bringing this era of global politics alive. Its brilliant law systems create a truly enigmatic power struggle that will keep us playing for many hours to come. While there's a lack of flavor for some of the smaller nations, and a handful of other problems that stop Victoria 3 being as good as it could be, I'd love to hear those, but they're not in this review. There's a vast myriad of strategies available to players and many ways to blot out a successful campaign. And ultimately, that's all we want from a strategy game, the freedom to make credible choices.
Yes. All right. So recommended.
Yep.
68.
Okay?
We got a 70, 81, 68.
I'm going to tell you all right now that you have made a grave miscalculation,
What?
which is that this is a niche style of game,
Yeah.
and the people that love those games only really play those games. It's 100% recommended.
Okay. All right. Fair.
Those people love their 4X games. Next up, we have Gotham Knights.
Mm.
I don't know, honestly, like, if I want to hear a review for a 4X game, I probably want to go to somebody that just plays 4X games.
Maybe.
Like, is it a good 4X or not? That's all I really care about. It's not going to compare to most of the other games that I play because I don't particularly love 4X games, but they can be fun. So Gotham Knights, for anybody who doesn't know, was going to be a multiplayer game and then was retooled like 6 times. Is not a multiplayer game anymore. It's instead a live service single player game. Well, again, it's
Okay.
not. They didn't give it. I agree with you. They didn't give it 100% score. They 100% recommended. They all recommended it.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. Gotham Knights is a weird game in many ways, right? I will tell you right now, it has 111 reviews.
Everybody wants to be Batman.
Just about every group reviewed this game that I could find, right? Gotham Knights live service single player game. Yeah, there's no Batman in it, unfortunately. But what do you think? What do you think the critic score is going to be?
Okay. Dang, you dark. You know what? I'll still go with it. I was gonna say 76. 76. Will is not. Heck, Will is done with it before. No, he doesn't want anything to do with
Will
it.
is an outlier, man. 86? Okay.
All right, 86, all right. You're gonna be racking, hoping for it.
The score is 70.
All right.
Okay.
We might have got the average of that with Will 0 in there between all four of us.
Right.
I'm not doing the math.
Let me read some blurbs for you. The first one is from Gamers Heroes, who says, Gotham Knights is up there with Elden Ring as a Game of the Year contender. Its fast, responsive, and action-packed combat is surpassed only by a narrative that had me glued from the very first cutscene. A must-play for fans of open-world titles, and an easy pickup for anyone invested with the Gotham Knights or DC Universe.
Okay.
Survivor says, those without a real attachment to the Bat family will feel indifferent to what's presented. Most who endure Dick and Babs will simply be disappointed. And I do want to read one more for you. Because it's so strange that they reviewed this game. MMORPG.com reviewed this game and said, if you aren't a Batman fan, not sure there's enough that stands out that dropping full retail on Gotham Knights is a smart move. The game could certainly use some patches. The full 4-player mode isn't out yet at release, and I feel like holiday releases may quickly overshadow this game. That isn't to say there isn't a great concept, but like Batman, it's crushed to death under all the debris.
Oh. Okay, so the recommended score, another 0, no Batman, no score. Oh. Dang it. See, I think Dark's been writing down my score. I don't know what you're doing. I'm going to go 68.
Okay. I just love that MMORPG.com was like, hey, no, yeah, we got to talk about this one. The recommended score is 46%.
Wow. Well.
This game has the most 3 out of 10s that I've seen all year. Or 4 out of 10s, I'm sorry.
It doesn't deserve the Gotham title.
It is crazy to me.
Mm-hmm. A lot worse than I expected.
Yeah.
Same here.
And then finally for tonight, and we're going to talk about this again later, Bayonetta 3.
I don't know if I want to review this right now. I'm still in shock. Who said, she said, what said? Oh,
It's just the game itself.
Okay. 70. I don't think it lives up to the hype. I don't think it's going to live up to the hype. Dark's got it as 82.
Next that we can go, and the score is 89.
Okay. Bayonetta fans unite, I guess. That's a 89. Okay.
Right. Destructoid says, while playing Bayonetta 3, much to my delight, I had no clue what was going to happen next at all times. I was absorbed, and between the crazy story, the environments, and the action system that's been refined through 2 prior games and years of experience, I had very little downtime. It's pretty much everything an action fan could want.
Okay.
Then in comparison, Games Radar says, when taking charge of the action, Bayonetta is more fun to rip and tear with here than ever before, with some smart evolutions in how her role as a summoner can add to her combat without taking anything meaningful away. Sorry. But some of the same issues that plagued its predecessors are just as present here, if not more so. The score was 89, yeah.
Yes. I'm going to say 89 on the recommended too.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're up, chat.
Lift it up. Yeah.
$84. Okay. 66. The recommended score is 94%.
Yeah. People like Devil May Cry with boobs and legs.
And I've heard the combat in this is even better than 2. So.
Okay. It should be.
Mm-hmm.
That's not here.
But that's reviews for the week.
Oh,
Again, next week will probably be lighter, and then the week after that will probably be like, a bunch of reviews again. But we'll get through there. So, congratulations again to Rundgren for earning ice cream.
Ice cream, Lieutenant Dan. Ice cream.
And he'll get to stay on the Wall of Fame until next week, though the Wall of Fame does go away for now. But
yeah.
It'll be back. Let's get into announcements. We've got some weird stuff to talk about this week, which is a Silent Hill 2 remake.
I'm not surprised. I actually, they said the same thing. It's like the same pattern. When I heard about this, it was like, we're gonna update the graphics, but what do they say? Update the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I get nervous.
I'm right there with you.
I mean, it's a great game. It was, and yeah, it'd be kind of cool to see it updated. So, but I've got to sucker for that though. I mean, I want to see a lot of these old games, like really looking cool.
I'm not against a remake. I don't necessarily think it needs it, even though I know a lot of people are like, well, the controls are so weird. That's part of the charm of the Silent Hill games, is how weird they control. And I think I'm fine with a remake as long as we also get like a good port of Silent Hill 2, like the original. Because right now that's kind of hard to get a hold of. But the
good news is it's not Resident Evil 4 that we're getting a remake of this time. It's going to go to Silent Hill, the other franchise, and
well, we're still getting RE4 remake.
Oh yeah. Never mind.
But they did give us a little bit of information as well. Basically, Masahiro Ito and Akira Yamaoka are involved. So it's not just Bloober working on this, though it is Bloober working on this. The original creators are still involved. There's going to be a new musical style and sound design, which worries me because the sound design of the original is... I'm very shy to ever say something is perfect, right?
Yeah.
But the original is so close to it that this could be even better, but I don't have a high hope for that, We also have that, and I didn't like the Medium very much, but Matthias Lennart, the creative director of the Medium, is the lead director of this remake. And then they're going to modernize the gameplay and also include an over-the-shoulder camera.
Yeah, see, that's the modernized. What exactly do you mean? By that? Because that's kind of a general term. So that's kind of like the updates coming soon.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't. I don't think they'll mess with the feel of it. I think that's the most important, the big thing. Don't get rid of the fog. I know that it was done for memory purposes back in the day, but it really set the feeling.
Well, and they showed a couple screenshots, and one of them has the fog in it, and the fog is even thicker than before.
Okay.
So I'm gonna drag a screenshot over here where everybody can see this on stream. But the fog is like, it's almost impossible to see through in this scene here. So I'm kind of stoked about that.
Yeah.
visual novel one as well. I did hear some rumors about that, but I love Silent Hill. I especially love Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill Homecoming. Those are my two big favorites of the Silent Hill series. So I'm gonna play this even if it's different, just because I love Silent Hill. I love that setting.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
we'll see how it goes. Oh, they're so good, dark. They're so good. They're so weird, terrifying. Yeah, I'm stoked for it. Japanese plant one. I mean, look, there's some cool stuff inside. We also have, and this is kind of a strange thing. Fallout 4 is getting a next gen upgrade. And we don't normally talk about next gen upgrades, right? That's not a big thing that we talk about here on the channel. But this one's free. And don't get me wrong, all the next gen upgrades should be free. Not all of them are.
Right.
I didn't expect it to be them to give it for free.
I'm sure there's a mod.
I'm sure they are including performance and quality modes that allow you to have higher FPS and play at 4K, as well as bug fixes. And they're adding some Creation Club content, free take, to the game in this. But again, the big news for me was just they're doing this for free.
No, they won't have any mods on next gen. And PlayStation's real picky about the mods. They're even pickier than Xbox about the mods they let on there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was just kind of like hey, this is a surprise.
Yeah. Well, it kind of is. It's not really a surprise because I'm pretty sure modders did most of the work.
Right.
They just got it over. But they kind of, it seemed like what does surprise me. Did they give? Yeah, it is a little bit of surprise they're giving away for free. That's for
I expected it to at least be $10 because that's what some of the other devs have done.
But they have, I don't know. I thought they kind of let that. I thought they kind of let Fallout 4 die.
Yeah,
it's been Skyrim.
Right.
But I like Skyrim. That's enough. Try something new. And look, and we're putting out a new. This is cool. You're putting out a new thing. But when we say put out something new,
yeah,
it's not exactly what we're saying.
Yeah, not quite the same. So this next story is it's the big one that everybody's happy about, right? There's a new ghost Pokemon that's been revealed for Scarlet and Violet. And I have an image here for you, and it is so adorable.
All right. Send it over. Let me see it.
Copy this to you.
All right.
I've put it on stream for everyone else, and that is a gigantic link. So there you go.
What?
I don't know why it's that long, but his name is Grievard.
He's got a candle on his head.
He's a little ghost puppy.
He's got a candle on his head.
He does. His Japanese name is Bochi, which is that's
not Mochi.
Bochi as in a dog, but also as in a restless spirit. There you go. It's perfect. So yeah, he's a ghost dog Pokemon. His ability is pick up. The video they showed, Grievous, Graveyard, Briard. Yeah, for sure. It's a really clever English name. The video that they revealed him with is another one that has like full voice acting, which some people are a little upset about because we know the game won't have full voice acting. But the reveal video is somebody filming with their phone, going to look for ghost Pokemon, and they find Grievard, and they start playing with him, and then slowly start getting more and more tired, and then like pass out because ghost Pokemon drain your energy. And he's cute. It's a cute video. He's cute. I like it. I do have the Pokedex entry here for you, which surprised me that they revealed this as well.
Okay.
And it says, normally, Grievard barely moves, resting peacefully underground. It pokes the topmost part of its head above ground and lights an eerie glow at its tip, then waits for someone to approach. When a person draws near, Grivard jumps out of the ground while letting out a spooky cry that would startle most unsuspecting people. However, it doesn't appear to do this with ill intent. Grivard has such a friendly and affectionate personality that paying it even the slightest bit of attention will make it so overjoyed that it will follow you wherever you go. Of all the Pokemon residing in the Paldea region, it is known to be especially easy to befriend. However, Grivard will slowly and inadvertently absorb the life force of those around it, so it's best not to play with it too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
Toxic
him.
puppy.
I love him.
You would. It's a
want
toxic puppy.
I don't even care if he evolves or not. I'm taking this guy all the way to championship.
Okay.
I'm catching one of these. All I'm saying is, when I do my review for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, you better be expecting to have a little Grivard in my party, unless it evolves into something like a Cerberus, and then you better expect that to be in my party.
Yeah. And you have a 3-headed ghost dog.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Try Grivard.
Yeah. So just a cool little ghost puppy, you know?
Yeah.
Want to have him around. Well, let's get into the news.
All right. I
guess I'll take Grivard off the podcast.
You don't have to.
I'm between Ferrigraph and Grivard. Ferrigraph is very cool too. I like all the Pokemon designs that have been shown off, although like some of them are a little strange. I do kind of like them. So let's talk about this first story, which is, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. We got a lot of weird news tonight, most of which is not good news. Disco Elysium author, guy that got fired and sent away, is now suing Zaum for his IP back.
Now I'm guessing this is going. Where's this going to court? In China, right? Yeah. I mean, excuse me, in Japan, yeah.
No, the company is in the Netherlands, I believe.
I wonder where they're filing.
They don't say in the article, but it does seem like a couple of the other creators are supporting him in this. So, okay. We'll see how it goes. But he wants the rights. Gonna try and take it back. He's filing not just his personal either, but filing on behalf of his own company, which he started, Talomer O. And so we'll see how things go. The hearing's supposed to be on November 28th. We don't know where exactly, and we don't know what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
There are some people saying it's going to be in Estonia. But
so I think if they did that, they'd be filing in an EU court.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting if they keep putting out updates and let us know.
Again, that's all we really know right now, but I'm very curious because, it may not be a crazy thing to say. I'd kind of like the guy that made it, that wrote it, to have the rights to it, since he didn't think they were just going to suddenly fire him either. I don't know the whole story there as to why he got fired, but I do know that a bunch of other people left when he did. So it doesn't sound like he necessarily did anything too bad. But we'll see how things go. And then in other news, let's talk about the Dark Souls servers.
Okay.
So you may remember, Dark Souls servers were down for a long time. Like over 300 days, I believe. And they came back up for some of the games, right? Not all of them. Dark Souls 3 servers came up, but not the others. Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin servers have been reactivated. So those are up. And they put out a thing saying, hey, Dark Souls 2, the original version, not the Scholar of the First Sin version, those servers will be up soon too. They're working on those right now. They'll have those servers up too. Dark Souls Remastered servers are already up. But Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition will not have its servers reactivated. And it's very strange, right?
Yeah, I just wonder what happened behind the whole thing.
So, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, just see, look, I mean, you lost a lot of servers, a lot of support for a lot of games. It just seems like it's for a long, long time. I mean,
well, remember the problem in the first place. The reason why they had to take them down was because the servers weren't defended well, and people were using backdoor rootkits to be able to get into people's computers while they were playing against them and steal their information. And so they fixed that in 3, then they fixed it in 2, then they fixed it, or installed it in the first Sin 2, then they fixed it in the remastered version of Dark Souls 1, but they can't fix it in Prepare to Die Edition.
Weird.
Said that it is not coded in such a way where they are able to fix this problem, and so they cannot restore functionality to Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition in good faith, knowing that people could use that to get into other people's computers and steal their information.
Yeah.
So the game still runs. You can still play the game locally, offline, but you cannot play it online, which is a huge shame. But I also don't think they should turn the servers back on if people, can get into your computers. I like PvP in Souls, but I like PvP in Souls when I can interact with it on my own time. When I can go to an area in PvP, I don't like getting invaded. Although it has led to some really funny moments. But Dark Souls 1, realistically, most people are playing the remastered version anyway. However, if you own Prepare to Die Edition, especially if you got it on like a sale a long time ago, you just can't play it online now.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Yes, it does.
I still think that's better the devil you know, right? I think that's a better option than turning it back on and letting people steal information from others using it.
Yeah.
But it's not much better.
It just seems like the whole thing seems that seems like such a massive oversight.
Yeah.
And it went across all the games.
Yep.
So
except for Elden Ring. That's the only one that didn't have that problem.
Right. That was such a foundational part of these games. It's just a weird thing.
Yep.
Neglect, it seems like. I don't know.
I think it really just comes down to the fact that the team were not good at making PC games. Because none of their games have run well on PC when they've come out. Not even Elden Ring. There are still people that have like really good PCs that just have conflicts with their stuff that makes it where Elden Ring runs like garbage. And those people are justified in not being happy that the game doesn't run well, They put out so many performance fixes and it just doesn't fix it for some people. Yeah, it's a weird thing. And they put out a little thing here that says, hey, thank you for your continued support. We're sorry it took so long, but, we really appreciate it. Just basically like, hey, we're sorry that we can't get Prepare to Die Edition working. We just can't. But everything's on its way, Yeah. Everything else, so. We'll see. Next up in the news, I'm really excited about these next couple stories because they're all redacted for you. You don't even know what we're going to be talking about.
No, I don't.
Let's talk about the Xbox Series S. You may say, why would we talk about the Xbox Series S? What do we have specifically to talk about it? The Xbox Series S is now the best PS2 emulator on the market.
That shouldn't be right. That
should
not be correct. Elaborate.
PCS X2 is a really finicky emulator, right? It's good, it works, but it's the emulator to be able to play PS2 games on PC. However, PCS X2 is, like I said, very finicky and will just not play some games. It has a lot of conflicts with graphics cards. The PS2 is a weird console. Not as weird as the PS3, but it's a weird console. And so some games run like they're underwater almost when you play them, when you have computers that can run like Witcher 3 on max, It doesn't make sense. However, The Xbox Series S has a very stable hardware that doesn't constantly require updates and works really well for running games, but is not as graphically powerful as the Series X, right? It's also incredibly easy to jailbreak. So, if you install PCSX2 along with some ISOs off of a flash drive or a hard drive, the Xbox Series X runs it like a dream. It's so smooth. And this has led people to say, hey, what about like other emulators on the Xbox Series S? There is a very good chance that unless Microsoft does something to kill this, the Xbox Series S will wind up being the emulation machine.
Oh, that makes my head hurt.
I love it. It's so cool. There's a great video of somebody playing the original Silent Hill 2 at 60 frames a second in high definition on the Xbox Series S.
Yeah, hey, honestly, talking about this, I don't see why they would stop it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I agree. It's incredible because it runs them way better than it has any right to. As if it's running games natively. These games didn't run at 60 frames a second on PS2, and they can't run at 60 on most PCs, but they're running at a smooth 60 on Xbox Series S.
That's so nuts.
Oh, so it has too. It has sold a lot more Series S's because there's a whole like Discord. I'm not going to link the Discord because I don't want to inadvertently lead to the whole movement getting killed. But there's a whole Discord about it you can find of people that are just doing emulation on Xbox Series S's.
Okay then.
There are some slight visual issues with a couple games right now. The Sly Cooper games have some issues where your character model disappears every once in a while. Yakuza 1 and 2 specifically, when they get up-resed, some of the textures break because they weren't meant to be played at 4K resolution. But it's just really crazy how easy it is to install. Gonna get another one specifically to jailbreak. And I think we've been living in a world where the Series X has been outshining the Series S, because of course it would, right? It's the more powerful machine, but the Series X can't emulate nearly as well as the Series S. And I think it's probably because it's the more powerful machine. The Series S happens to be like just the right specs to be able to play these emulated games perfectly.
Just glad you're here now.
We are.
We're just glad you're here now.
So, there was an attempt to get RPCS3, which is the PS3 emulator, working on there. So far, no dice. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not going to buy it to emulate PS2 games because I can do that on this computer. This computer can emulate PS2 games. It doesn't do it as well as I'd like. If they get a PS3 emulator working on there, I have a PS3 in this room, and it is the biggest pain in the world to hook up to my setup because I have to go through an HDMI breaker because otherwise the PS3 goes HDMI, HDCP. If I could get a hookup to my system that lets me play them on my, because I don't have a TV in the office, to play them on my monitor, I would probably buy a Series X just to emulate PS3 games. So, as of yet, it doesn't play native PSX. However, the PS2 emulator can play, the PC SX2 can play PSX games because it just runs them as an ISO, because the PS2 could play PS1 games. Because the discs, the ISOs are the same in the system. It doesn't actually matter whether it's PS2 or PS1. So you can run them that way, but you still have to run it through PCSX2.
That was crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. You imagine, hey, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna play Metal Gear Solid on my
right.
Metal Gear Solid 2 on my Xbox Series S. So that's, you see why I kept that redacted from you.
Yes. But Legends of Dragoon on the Xbox, yes. That's nuts. This shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. The PlayStation should be the king of that. You should be able to play PlayStation 2 games on your PlayStation without a whole bunch of crap, but you can't.
The
But
best
that's
part
another
is
story.
the best part is it still does the whole like PlayStation logo and everything. You've got
Yeah.
you got the Xbox fired up and you're playing PS2 games on it.
Well, that'd be such an alternate universe type thing.
Yep.
To hit to load up the Xbox and then hear that, the sound of the PlayStation came out with a little boxes spinning around.
Yep.
Weird.
I will send you the link to this video right now so you can watch it later.
All right.
Because I'm sure you want to see it, and I'll link it in the chat too.
Okay.
Just so, but don't go watch it right now. Save it for later, chat. Don't watch it right now. We got more podcasts to do. That's not the button I meant to push. There we go.
Oh.
Paste. You can go watch a video of it later. Put that in another tab and come back. Next up, in the world of weird news, let's talk about Helena Taylor,
Okay.
who was given an update.
No.
So, let me just, walk back through this. So everybody knows now, okay. No, not now. Everybody knows what's going on here, just in case you missed it before. You may be watching this podcast in the future and not have last week's update. Helena Taylor came out with a video saying that she was offered $4,000 to voice Bayonetta in Bayonetta 3 and went on a whole spiel about it, how everybody should boycott the game, how Platinum had let everybody down, and about the new girl that would be replacing her, saying she was the voice of Bayonetta and nobody else could be. Of course, that was throwing shade at Jennifer Hale, took the role. Then Jason Schreier, along with a couple other people, put out stories of how that was not, in fact, the truth, and that Platinum had offered her much more, including a number that was specifically $15,000 for the entire job, which is, again, much higher than voice actors normally get paid. Helena Taylor then put out a clarification this week. She says, "It has come to my attention that some people are calling me a liar and gold digger. I feel the need to defend myself and my reputation in the industry. See thread." And then she does like the thing that people do when they want to get attention on Twitter. And she does like at Platinum Games, hashtag Platinum Games, hashtag Nintendo, hashtag Bayonetta, hashtag Bayonetta 3, like the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Which doesn't make your story look better. Yeah, for sure. 15K is a great offer, right? Then she says, as I posted on part 3 of my video thread, I explained their first offer was too low. That offer was $10,000. So remember when she said it was $4,000?
Yeah.
She said the first offer was too low, and they offered her a higher number that was $4,000. That was a lie.
Okay.
Then she says, remember, this is a $450 million franchise, which we're going to get back to. I want to come back to that number because that number's not correct, and we're going to come back to that. She then says that she wrote in Japanese to Hideki Kamiya asking for what she was worth. She thought as a creative, he would understand. That's true. He owes you $15,000.
It's not about me.
Kamiya then replied, saying how much he valued her contribution to the games and how much the fans wanted her to voice Bayonetta. And so then she was offered an additional $5,000, which is $15,000. So originally she didn't say 4K per session, though. Originally she said 4,000.
Yeah,
that number's coming
4K,
up.
K per session, and now she said this.
Yes.
Right, that's the timeline, because I was thinking like Dark was.
Right.
She originally said 4,000, and then it was 4,000 per session, and now it's this.
Now it's 15,000 for the entire project.
Yeah.
She says, so I declined to voice the game. I then heard nothing from them for 11 months. They then offered me a flat fee to voice some lines as a cameo for $4,000. Any other lies, such as 4,000 for 5 sessions, are total fabrications. So, let me remind you that after the stories came out from Jason Schreier and others, she specifically said those were all lies. When those stories said that she was offered $15,000 to voice Bayonetta, she said that was ridiculous and a lie, which is not true. She just confirmed that it was not a lie, it was the truth.
Yeah.
So in actuality, she was offered $15,000 to voice Bayonetta in this game. And she thought that was too low when that is $13,000 more than most people get paid to voice main characters in video games.
That's two different. She's kind of. I think, at the first time of the story, we all agreed that, the discussion of if voice actors make enough, probably not.
Right.
I don't think
absolutely
that's an
not.
argument. And she's.
So she's poisoned the well.
Yeah.
And I've already seen discussions coming up from people saying, voice actors are probably making enough money. I mean, this one's asking for $15K for a job, so she's probably been or was offered $15K for a job. So voice actors probably get paid more than we think. No, voice actors don't. $15K would have been incredible. Any other voice actor would have taken that offer. So this gets more murky because now we have it clarified that she lied. She broke NDA to lie.
Yeah.
So her career is done. She broke NDA to torpedo her career, right? It absolutely has, Dark. And she broke NDA to ask people to boycott the game because she didn't get way more than voice actors normally get. But let's go to this number that led to all this, because this is where things went wrong. She says the reason she was worth that is because of the franchise being worth $450 million, right?
Yeah.
So there was some work done. There was some serious footwork done to show how she got to this math, and it's really stupid. And all she would have had to do was confer with one other person to see that her numbers were wrong. So if we pull this up now, VG Charts, Bayonetta franchise. Yeah, this isn't Japan. So VG Charts specifically gives like the whole breakdown of what games sold for what, right? That's how VG Charts work. So if we go to the very first page here, we get the number of how many copies were sold, right? However, the very top of the chart, I'm going to pull the chart up here where people can see it.
Yeah. Can you get the link there? Do you have the link for those?
Yeah, I will get the link for you.
Okay. I think I'm not the only one that would like to see those. You can put the link down in the chat.
Try and make it where it can be seen, but there's apparently an ad on the top of this image. So that's making things fun. Let me just save it as an image.
Okay.
Open image in a new tab. Copy that. Send it to you.
Now she says the franchise as a whole.
450 million.
450 million.
Yeah. She says the franchise as a whole. Chat, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger where you can see it, but not where it takes over the entire screen. I don't know how I'm going to do this where you can see it, to be honest with you, chat. Let's do this right down here. It's going to cover the chat for a minute, but so if we look at the top number here, the top number you may look at and say that is the first game, right? That is not the first game. That is the franchise.
How much is that?
Franchise has shipped 3.9 million copies. 3.09 million copies.
Over the 3 games.
That's why I use ad block. Yeah, over the first 2 games and merchandising sales, right?
Okay, yes. Okay.
The next one is Bayonetta 1. 1.77 million. Bayonetta 2, 1.32 million. Bayonetta 2 on specifically the Switch, 1.04 million. You might notice the problem here, and eagle-eyed members of the chat might realize what has happened. She looked at this and went 3.09 million plus 1.77 million plus 1.32 million plus 1.04 million plus 0.42 million plus 0.28 million times 60 is 450 million. But what she effectively did was double the entire sales of the franchise and then multiply them by 60. Now, here's the problem with that. Not everybody bought that game for $60.
True.
If it was on sale, they didn't buy it for $60. And not every sale of that game was in a currency that allows it to equal out to $60.
Sure.
Which means we can't just look at this number. First off, the number, even if we multiply it by 3.09 million, it is much lower than 450 million. I will get that number for you now. I will do the math right here. But also, we can't even do that because that's not how that works. That would be 185 million if it was every single copy was sold at full price, which we know it wasn't.
Yeah. Now, what was the number they gave for the franchise? The company. What was that? Go back.
The company gives 3.09 million shipped. They have never said how much the franchise made.
Yeah. Okay. I see a lot of that.
All she had to do was talk to one more person and show her math, and they would have gone, no, look, Taylor, you made a huge mistake here.
Yeah, and that money goes back into,
Yeah, not all that money's profit.
Yeah, a lot of people put a lot of money into that. That's, there's programmers, there's all kinds of stuff, all kinds of people behind the scenes that money goes to pay, and a lot of other things. I'm sure they've got good profit off of it. That's not.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's not the argument. They've made money.
I'm sure they have.
Or they wouldn't be making Bayonetta 3.
Right.
With that.
But it's not $450 million profit. Again, even if we do the base and say every copy was sold for $60, which we know it wasn't, every copy was sold for $60, it's still only $180 million.
Yeah.
And so it's just mind-boggling that she went, well, of course the series can pay for this. It makes $450 million. Am I insane? Like, what is that? What is going on? How do you do that? How do you not realize when it says series that is the entire... How do you not add up those individual numbers and get that first number? How do you add all those together instead?
Starting to feel... I bet Miss Taylor was at home by herself many times cosplaying as Bayonetta.
Probably.
What's that?
Because she believes that she's the voice of Bayonetta. And I don't... Again, I said this on Twitter, that normally I'm the guy that goes, hey, there could be more information to this. We need to be a little bit more relaxed on this. We don't need to be as vicious going for the throat. This is some of the stupidest thing that I've ever seen somebody do in this entire medium. Because she torpedoed her career on bad math.
Yeah. Well... Probably not the worst way to torpedo a career ever, but it's a pretty bad way.
She's poisoned the well on the discussion for VA pay over bad math.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I'm just saying she won't be used as an example.
Yeah.
For how to get more money or anything.
Yeah. Think. You know what price I bought Bayonetta 1 for? $40 on PlayStation 3 when it came out, and I waited for it to go cheap on sale. Yeah, it just shows she's older and can't do math. That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of work. For sure it is. Voice acting's not easy. We got to talk about Michael Kopsa earlier and how, like, his voice acting is part of what sold Char to the English audience, right? Like, that's not an easy thing to do. Oh.
It's a special thing. You carry a voice. You keep up. And look, if you know some stories of voice actors, you're going to come across one really unique story where a guy or a gal has blown out their voice.
Yeah.
And had to go to a session. The Optimus Prime when he was doing it, when he came up with a sound for the Predator.
Yeah.
You know, he blown out his voice.
Sean Schimmel passed out in the booth doing the Super Saiyan 3 yell. He yelled so hard in the booth, he passed out.
And what was that?
That was many years ago, but he was not able to record another voice line for Goku for like 3 weeks while he recovered from that.
That when Tara Strong had a week, like she was, I think it was Tara Strong, it was like she was like super sick.
Yeah.
To go in and get it.
It's not easy to do.
Yeah. No, it's not. I don't think people understand it because I think it's kind of like the stand-up, right? Stand-up is an art. I have a lot of respect for
100%.
stand-up comics. People will think that they just go up there and talk in the microphone.
Yeah.
And now they spend hundreds of hours putting that together to get the whole routine and act on. You know, it's not just walking up and speaking into a microphone.
Right. And that's not even counting all the time it takes for voice actors to do their own footwork to find gigs, because most of them don't have agents that do that for them. So, yeah, it just, when I figured out, like I was already upset when I found out she lied, when she admitted that she lied, but I was even more upset when I found out why she did all this to begin with. Yeah. Because she just decided to do the math herself instead of reaching out to the company and saying, hey, I feel like, as a $450 million gross profit company, because I guarantee you Kamiya would have been like, what? Where is that number coming from? And the fact that instead Kamiya, by her own admission, that instead Kamiya said how much he appreciated her and her voice work, like, how do you then go out and say people should boycott this game because Kamiya's a jerk? He said how much he appreciated you.
I don't know. The story's become really muddied now, and I don't want to. I can't really back you up because you keep lying.
Yeah.
I'll stand up saying, hey, people deserve fair pay for fair work, and I don't think they get it.
100%.
Not just voice acting, and just all kinds of stuff. I don't get too much there, but don't.
I agree.
Be in the right. Don't lie.
Yeah.
Don't try to twist the facts. Because if she came out with a number like 15, it's like, hey, I got this. How many hours did that take? What do you get? That might be great. How. Let's see. Lost it.
I understand. For sure, Dark. For sure, Dark. But I just mean that, like, for her to demonize him after he offered her another half of what they were already going to pay her again, from 10,000 to 15,000.
Yeah, she came out with, like, this is what they offered them for this many hours work. I don't think that's enough.
Right.
That would be one thing if he was honest with it. And sure, some people would have probably said, yeah, that's plenty. You're getting a lot of money to do that. But kind of twisted it.
I think there's a big difference between Kamiya, and don't get me wrong, again, I still think Kamiya didn't handle things well on Twitter, but I think there's a big difference between Kamiya saying, hey, we appreciate you and we know fans want you to voice this character. I'm going to offer you $5,000 more because I want you on this project. And Walmart going, hey, I appreciate you before I'm going to make you work 78 hours this week. And,
Corporate's very happy with all the work you've done and how good the store is looking. We've made record profits this year. So
you're fired.
Give y'all a pizza party.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's where we're at right now with this. I don't think we're going to get more information that changes the story, really. Unless Platinum comes out and goes, here's the whole conversation we had with her, and here's all the times we tried to pay her more. But, pizza party. But I think the story's pretty much shut now. It's pretty much done.
Yeah. Yeah, that I don't know. Honestly, for Platinum to come out and say anything would be dumb.
I agree.
She's taking care of it.
Yeah.
There's no need to say anything else.
I also think all of this puts her comments about how she's, moving on to the theater in a very different light. because it really makes it seem like, pardon my French, that she's sniffing her own farts here, and saying that she's better than a voice actor because she's going to the theater.
Yeah.
But I told you, I warned you today. If you were following me on Twitter, I warned you. I'm going for the throat here because she, in my opinion, she has actively hurt other VAs with what she's done.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
And I just don't have patience for that. I'm sorry. I know I'm the guy that goes, well, maybe no.
You've admitted that you lied. Yep.
That's
exactly right. You've been honest. We could,
100%.
Yeah.
I saved this story for last, unless you have anything else to add on that. I think we've pretty much wrapped it up.
I think so. We're all pretty much aggravated with her, it sounds like.
I saved this story for last. Oh, it's ad time. Ad time.
Well, okay.
Because I knew this would be something to bring us back up after that story.
Okay.
Let's talk about Cyber Knight.
Cyber Knight.
So, it's very true, Dark. Cyber Knight is a YouTube channel, which, let me pull it back up here because I had what he's at now, sub-wise. This was brought to my attention this week, and I couldn't not talk about it. So, Cyber Knight is a YouTube channel that earlier in the week had 852 subscribers.
Okay.
And has a sacred duty to upload an episode of a Minesweeper Let's Play that is exactly 10 minutes long, roughly. Or a couple, like I say exactly then roughly. There's a couple that are like 10:04, 10:06. But most of them are exactly 10 minutes. Every single day for the rest of his life. He is now at 9.32K subscribers.
Okay.
As the story is broken. And here is the mission statement for this channel. When I am found to be deceased and unable to continue the Minesweeper Let's Play series, anyone else is allowed to continue the series on their own channel as long as they follow the proper format of the series. Each episode must have the title Let's Play Minesweeper, episode, number of previous episodes +1, regardless of whether the English language and modern counting systems have changed or gone extinct. Each episode must be roughly 10 minutes in length. Each episode must be a 2-dimensional recording of the game Minesweeper. No live events, holographic recordings, etc. This exact text must be copied and pasted on one's About page or equivalent on another website if they take up the mantle. One video shall be uploaded per day, 24 hours. If you miss a day, keep a log of missed episodes and upload multiple later. The series is not allowed to end. If the current showrunner fails to meet these standards or is otherwise considered inadequate, the audience is allowed to take up the mantle themselves.
Right. Minesweeper everywhere.
Specifically, Cyber Knight has said RJ261 the Great is the current heir. If you would like to be the sweeper of mines, you will have to defeat him in single combat. So, I watched a couple of these episodes. And originally they had no music.
Yeah.
No talking. And are just someone playing Minesweeper for 10 minutes. All on their own. However, as of the 20th, Cyber Knight, the Minesweeper King, the Minesweeper Madman, has said... Yeah, there's a different... It's Cyber Knight with a space in between. There's a different channel called Cyber Knight that comes up. Cyber Knight has said, it would appear that, thanks to Sebastian's Twitter post, I have gained 5,000 subscribers in a matter of hours. Much obliged. With people actually watching now, I suppose I'll play some music for you guys until the viewership goes back to a normal level. I say guys specifically because my analytics say that viewers are 99.7% male, 0% female, 0.3% user specified. Not joking, that's actually what it said. And that's the only thing this channel has said about the fact that he blew up and has almost 10,000 subscribers. Other than that, it's just continuing on as usual. Minesweeper episodes for days.
Do it, man.
As of today, he is on Let's Play Minesweeper episode 1539.
Wow. Yeah, he beats the Nazim guy.
Yeah.
Posts one video of him going and killing Nazim every day.
Yep.
And his is not till death. His is till what, the next game comes out, I think?
Yeah, till the next game comes out.
Oh.
So yeah, it's just it's this. And like most of the videos have like 40 or 50 views. And then he has a video, episode 1500, where he changes his desktop background for the 1500th episode. It has like 1.1 thousand views, and people are like, whoa, this one's got a different background. And then he goes back to the previous background, which is Dark Souls 1, Solaire on the Cliff, for the next set of videos.
Hey. It works, it works.
So, you know, when I found out about this, I had to share it because it's too perfect not to, right? This person has taken up a holy mantle.
Hey,
So I subscribed, you know, I added my name to the list.
Sacred duty.
Yeah. If something happens to Cyber Knight and 256 the Grail can't continue it, somebody else got to step in.
So they don't step up. They can even find Minesweeper anymore.
So that was the big thing that I just had to leave that redacted so you couldn't see it, you know. It was too perfect not to. But oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. That's the news for this week.
All right.
Throw it over to Rungren's Corner.
All right. Yeah. There was a happy birthday to Katy Perry. She's a singer or something.
Oh,
I'm sure
okay.
she'll watch it. She'll catch it on that. So happy birthday, Katy Perry. That's at that. All right. So I got two stories.
Okay.
All right. Start with one. Let's see, make sure I get this right. All right. All right. This first was a little bit scary. There was an attempt to capture a felon escape convict and ended up turning himself in at the police station.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me tell you this story. A gray seal wandered into a Massachusetts pond, and the local authorities spent hours trying to catch him. It failed. They gave up.
Wow.
And they're not sure how it got to the pond. They figure he went through, came from obviously from the sea,
Yeah.
down through some rivers, finally ended up in this pond in Massachusetts. He was kind of adopted by the town called Schubert there, but they wanted to get him out and get him back.
Yeah.
So like I said, they tried for hours and hours trying to catch him, trying to coerce him, nothing. They finally gave up. All right. They used giant nets. They're trying to what did it say? Early Friday morning. Okay. Yeah, early the next morning after they gave out, Schubert, the seal, left the pond, crossed the parking lot, and appeared outside the door of the local police station, looking, and this is according to the police statement, for some help. So they surrounded the seal. And apparently the police department's entire midnight shift surrounded the seal. It was a gray seal, so they didn't beat it. It was in good health.
Oh, I wish I didn't laugh at that, but man, it's true.
It's in good health. They said the seal was a little sassy but they managed to get. He was transported to a place called Mystic Aquarium in Mystic, Connecticut. Aquarium staff were gonna perform a medical exam. He looks healthy, looks doing good. Just check him out,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna try to get him back to the ocean. The last note we have on this is that he is acting like a typical feisty 4-year-old gray seal. We were planning to release him in a quiet, remote location near other seals. Now, look, he's already been to the police station. He knows what your facilities look like. You're going to put him back in the ocean, and he is going to go report back to the group. Of course, the seals are the messengers. They can go between land and water.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But
Schubert the spy.
Yes. Well, we might have a new sitcom here. A gray seal spy. Now, this other story, apparently, okay. I just gotta. This one's for you, Trey Fish. I had to do this story just for you, Trey.
Okay.
Okay. A Massachusetts woman. I don't know what it is about Massachusetts. It's a weird place. Massachusetts woman who released a swarm of bees on sheriff deputies as they tried to serve an eviction notice is facing multiple assault and battery charges, as already said. The 55-year-old, there was an eviction going on. Get a buggy. There was she and some other protesters there. She pulled up in her beekeeper outfit and let loose the bees. Okay. She lived in heavy. She was right. She drove an SUV towing a trailer carrying beehives, and she started shaking them, breaking the cover off one, causing hundreds of bees to swarm out and initially sting one deputy. Woods, she put on the beekeeper suit to protect herself. They finally got her handcuffed, but 3 of the deputies. Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing. 3 of the deputies were allergic.
Oh no!
Yeah, when Woods was told that several of the officers were allergic, she said, "Oh, you're allergic? Good." One staff member ended up going to the hospital. And,
it's not funny. I'm sorry, but it is funny.
Yeah. So they're gonna try. They're gonna try to straighten things out. She's got some charging pending, but yes, a real life. Yeah, she attacked him with bees.
Nice. I approve. Although maybe I shouldn't say I approve. That might get me in jail.
Yeah.
I approve of using bees as a weapon. Also, I just added this.
She's watching you. Oh no. Yes. All right. Well, that was my stories. Keeping the important stories of the world. I need to find those and deliver those.
Yes.
To the good people.
Well, with the end of Rundgren's Corner, you know what it's time for, chat? It's time for Rundgren's assignment.
Oh yes.
First off, I thought we would start by reviewing the assignment because I have watched the tapes. Your first assignment went fairly well. You were too scared. You how do I word this? You were like a frightened baby seal. At one point, you turned away from the threat and missed it completely. And I can only assume this is from fear. So, I've selected 2 more assignments, and I'm going to let the chat choose. And hopefully, these we won't have that problem in.
Well, I tell you one thing that will fix that problem is we got restream marked out. The chat worked back out.
Yeah.
So I won't have to be turning my head to look at the chat.
That's fair. There's going to be somebody back that watches this later on. They're like, Trey's being really hard on Rundgren here. That's the joke. All right, so I am putting up the poll right now.
Okay.
Chat,
Okay.
you will have. I'm going to give you 2 minutes this time, chat, instead of 1. And the options. Where did that? There it is. Okay.
All right. I can't see him. I have no idea what's up there.
Chat, you have 2 minutes. Vote. See how you choose.
Meanwhile, we're going to try to nail down what is a gun. No. No.
Vote for the best one because you're not on Twitch? Okay. See, there's
They
a
don't have
twist
to
that I
be.
will reveal depending on how this goes.
Yes.
And I think it's going to go the way that I want it to go, but we'll see. Because actually, I kind of want it to go both ways, to be honest with you. Whoever wins, I win. Drops this Thursday.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. SD Gundam Battle Alliance Pack 3 drops this Thursday.
With new missions. Now, y'all were talking about this the other day. Y'all got it's got new missions, but it doesn't have it's not no patch match or anything. I'm not changing
Yeah,
anything
it's
yet.
just new missions and new suits.
Okay.
One of which is the Execute Repair 4. Acre. Chat, you have about 40 seconds left to vote. If you're watching this on YouTube and you say, I want to vote, as Waverly is, and you can't vote on the YouTube side, I will tell you the two options are the Haunted Island and Omno. And you can vote with your words in the chat as well on YouTube side, or you can come watch us live on Twitch if you're watching this later on with the VOD at 7 CT every main day of the week. Main day, weekday, that's the way that is normally said. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And you can vote that way.
Yes.
Keep that in mind.
Yes.
And the vote is done. The winner is The Haunted Island, a frog detective game.
The Haunted Island, a frog detective game.
Yep. Sending you the code now.
A frog detective game. Okay.
There you go.
All right. I'll get that. I'll get that loaded up tomorrow and see what that's about tomorrow night. Oh,
I think that's going to be a fun stream. I really do. I think that's going to be a fun. All right. So, remember, chat, you want to vote? That's the way to do it. And we'll vote on a different game next week. So,
any plugs?
let's talk about plugs. Not really. I mean, I haven't watched it yet, but the Wendigoon new video that just dropped seems like it's going to be pretty good. It's, what is it called? Let me pull this up here real quick, because the title immediately made me go, ooh.
You probably got pretty good stuff.
The Haunted Mystery of the Brown Mountain Lights, the Ghost Lights of Appalachia. That sounds cool. Plug Shard. Yeah, we should. We should plug Shard.
Yeah.
Right. It's not very good, but we have a spread shop now. I mentioned last week that I was in the works trying to get that done. We don't have a lot of things available on it yet, but we do have a spread shop, and you can buy merch from there. Right now, we won't get any of the money because it's not all on the back end yet, so I'm not going to link it yet. But soon, that'll be available, and approved are the logo on shirts and mugs and the review thumbnail of me going on handbags. So, you know, an update on that hopefully next week. But we'll see how that goes. Eventually, we'll have a lot of merch, and that'll be cool. But
goodness.
Twitch emotes, hopefully I can get some more Twitch emotes made too. I want to get Twitch emotes made of both of the thumbnail raw files that I'm using, the one that is the review and the one that is the first impressions. I want to get Twitch emotes of both of those. And then I've got some other ideas. I need to get it worked out, but I want to get Agabor Trant as a Twitch emote, which means I have to come up with a design for Agabor Trant. And with that in mind, I've also added a new Twitch deal here, which is !Trant.
Oh my gosh.
So, we're getting cool stuff done. The in-universe memes just continue to go up. We're gonna be up there for like memes in the full spectrum memes. People are gonna start using "Watch Out, Bearded Man" and Agabor Trant in other content, and those people aren't gonna know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm gonna be in our Discord, but okay.
Yeah, that's true. Do you have any plugs, sir?
No, let's ask Shogo.
Okay.
I really enjoy some of his videos. Well, he's Japanese, and he's like, okay, this is how things can be. And I like the way he explains things.
Yeah.
It's not groundbreaking or anything. It's just, I don't know. It's a good value. It put a good video together. Had some good information about Japan.
Very nice.
Like it, both historically and modern day.
Yeah.
So, that.
Schedule for the week. Don't forget, we have Rundgren's assignment tomorrow. He'll be checking out Haunted Island, The Frog Detective's Tale, or is it just Frog Detective? I've already forgotten.
Frog Detective Game. A Frog Detective Game.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And then Thursday, we'll be covering some more 1D&D stuff. Got characters to make.
Yeah, we're going to make a character.
And then Friday, we're going to go back to painting. We're going to try and finish you can't see it over here. Haha, it's just nothing. I'm holding up a little white disc. We're going to try and finish the Thousand Suns. And then I'll put a poll up on the YouTube side and the Twitter side to see what we're going to paint next, because there's too many options. Tomorrow, the Vampire Survivors video should go up. And then Thursday will probably be the Magnus Archives review. Friday will be that episode of Gundam XCOM. That'll go up. And then hopefully sometime this weekend I can get the Wish for Mercury review, the early impressions done. And then I've got a Halloween game to still record for Halloween. Forward to all that stuff.
Right.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else we've forgotten. I think we got everything covered.
So, I think so.
So if you're watching this on Twitch, we appreciate you hanging out with us live. If you're watching it on YouTube live, we appreciate you hanging out and watching us live.
Absolutely.
It's great to have the support of everybody. The channel's really growing, and that is because of all of you. And if you're watching this later on YouTube or Twitch, we appreciate you, even if you're not watching it live, because that still helps us. And, come hang out with us live if you can. If not, hey, the VODs will always be there for you. So, until next time, I've been Trey.
I've been Rundgren.
And we've been the Full Spectrum Podcast. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum. Life.